Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. And today for breakfast actually, I am having some rice and Salisbury steak and cucumbers. I'm going to say my prayer and then I'm going to start eating. Again, let me give you a glimpse of what I'm eating. That's rice, one Salisbury steak, and it's small. I don't like making them big and chunky, and some cucumbers. Okay. It may look cold, but it's still warm. It took me a minute to set up. And for my beverage today, I'm having a cup of coffee. Yummy. Okay, let me get my prayer and then I'll get going. Amen. All right, let me dig in and start eating. There's a little smoke there. Plain rice. I'm sorry about the setup that you can't really see. I tried to provide a different location for filming my videos, but I haven't quite worked out the kinks to make sure that you can at least have a good view of the food. Sorry about that noise, guys. You know, early in the morning, trash trucks, recycled trucks come through. For some reason, my family, they don't care for a lot of gravy. I like it. So I try to do something that's a good balance where everybody's satisfied. But sometimes it works out and other times it doesn't. So we do what we do and we just keep it pushing. I had to wake up early this morning to assist one of my family members. I normally like to wake up naturally. Something about waking up to that alarm clock or some type of alert alarm that just stresses me out. It hasn't always been that way for me. For at least 35 years straight, I've had to wake up by some form of alarm. And it will be 1 year at the end of this month that I have not worked a 9 to 5. it has been only in the last couple of years that I have learned to eat my rice without butter and sugar. Swimming in butter and sugar. That's how we were raised. That's how my mom and dad prepared our food for us, served it to us. With sugar and butter. As a matter of fact, canned corn, sugar and butter, sweet peas, sugar and butter. I think that was it. But that's how my parents served, their family, those particular food items with butter and sugar. I don't know if it was a trick to make the vegetables or the food taste good so that we would eat it. I would say that it started a bad habit. Because then I went on to serve those particular food items to my children the same way. Um, Grits, oatmeal, swimming in butter and sugar. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Such a bad habit. I don't know. I'm not blaming my parents. I'm not blaming myself. Because I did things the way that I thought they were supposed to be done because I watched my parents do it. And seeing that I was out of their home at the age of 16, I wasn't afforded the opportunity to learn something different other than serving it that way. And again, not blaming anyone. That's just how things worked out. Hmm. It wasn't until my youngest daughter, when attending college, you know, encountered some different cultural experiences up close and personal. And she got a taste of it, that experience, the food, learning how to prepare. And she just adopted that way of preparing her food and eating the food. And she brought the rest of us along for the ride. So part of my sauce collection, fish sauce, soy sauce. I love me some kimchi. I haven't had it in a long time. Oh, and I love the little desserts. The banana, it's a banana dessert wrapped in I think it's wrapped in a banana leaf too. It's so good. I seasoned the Salisbury steak really well, that it is a perfect balance with the rice. I'm gonna have to work out this particular setup. You want the last one? You do? Oh, okay. Here you go. It's the English cucumber. If you're not familiar, it is the individual cucumber wrapped and sealed in plastic. That's the English cucumber. It has a better flavor than the other cucumber that's not wrapped. For some reason, here lately, well, in the last couple of years, even after thoroughly washing the other cucumbers, slicing them, and it still seemed to have this, it just had a weird taste to it. But the English cucumbers, they don't have that taste. They're really good and refreshing. But anyway, guys, give me one moment while I remove my dish. Be right back. And I'm back. Got my coffee now. It's really delicious, flavored just right. Sometimes I'll have one good cup of coffee, and then on other days I might have, depending on what I'm doing. But I do enjoy coffee. So I haven't created my to-do list. Yes, I am a to-do list person, and it's because I no longer have a 9 to 5. So I kept a schedule. I created to-do lists when I had a 9 to 5. So I knew, and I could look and see what tasks I completed. But when you are no longer in that arena, your days can go by really fast, and you can feel, one can feel as though they haven't accomplished anything, that they actually wasted the day. So I still hold on to the routine of creating to-do lists for myself. That way I can look back at it and say, okay, you did this, you did that, you weren't able to do that. No big deal, we can move that to tomorrow and complete that task. So I am learning how to be still. I am no better than anyone else. There are people that have worked longer than I have worked, 9 to 5. And I don't take anything away from anybody else's experience. However, I can only speak to my experience. And I have worked since 1984, my very first job, and I have not missed a year until now. It'll be a complete year at the end of this month. First time. And in those years, I have worked multiple jobs at one time. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to even um, list out my jobs, all the jobs that I've held. And it wasn't that I was getting fired. I was just in that mode of, I've never been fired from a job. I've always resigned from a job. I always had this thing about leaving on my own terms. I was not a job hopper. Um, and my field was healthcare. So pretty much I've basically retired that particular career path. It was interesting because when I resigned my last job, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you're retiring. Oh, you're retiring." Now, I don't know if I want to chalk that up to me having a head full of gray hair, because nobody really knew my age. Um, so people just assume things, and that's okay. I wasn't hurt by it. But it was funny because I heard it so much. "Oh, I'm going to miss you. You're retiring. Good for you." You know, and I'm like, retiring? But I'm not retiring. I'm just leaving here. But I'm going to tell you something. As I got closer and closer to my last day of work, I began to embrace the idea. Now, I will say, because of the societal environment and changes that had come down the pike, that required certain things, whether you were willing or not. Um, there was no gray area. The situation was black and white for everyone. And so everyone had an opportunity to make an informed decision as to how to move forward. Um, I will say that prior to that situation happening to the world, the Lord was already telling me to resign. You know, sometimes I find it really hard to um, talk. I love to have conversation. I love to talk, but I want to share certain things, but then, the Holy Spirit kind of gives me this question, which is it fruitful? Who is this going to benefit? Is it going to benefit my knee pop? Is it going to benefit you? Is it going to benefit the listener? You know, is it going to cause harm to uh, anyone, that may have been a part of this situation that just might stumble across your video? Will you offend anyone? You know, so it's all these different questions that I have to consider when talking during my videos, because what I want to do, I do want my words to be honoring to God. I don't want to reap a bad harvest from the bad seeds that I've sown. Words have power. They bring life, or they can promote death. I don't want to promote the latter. There's enough of that going around. So if my words can't be uplifting, inspiring, motivating, and encouraging, even if it's sharing an experience, I have to pray over that thing and allow the Lord to edit that situation in order for me to, you know, get to the meat of the conversation and leave all the hairy details out, because it's not, it's not fruitful. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't want to have um, unfruitful conversations. It's not going to help anybody. What ground are those words going to fertilize? I need to be able to fertilize the ground. Some plant, some water, but only God can give the increase. And you never know which role you're going to be called to play, the planter or the one that's given the water. You don't know. You just have to do your best to um, be obedient to that call, whether you understand it or not. So just know that it's not that I don't want to share. I love to share. I just have to be mindful, and whatever it is that comes to my mind, I have to submit it to the Lord. I absolutely love to share. I think that's how we help people to avoid stumbling blocks. Because I'm going to tell you, out of everything that's happening, all the good things and all the bad things, there have been great examples of how a situation turned out for someone else, be it good or bad. And it blows my mind. And I have been a part of this. So I'm not stepping out saying that I never did this, because, I was the queen of bump your own head. Get your own lumps, your own personalized lumps on your head. I was the queen of that. I could see, somebody living in a abusive relationship. What'd I do? Turn around and said, I'm going to go get me one of them. Not just one, but I got two of them. I ended up in two of them. How, what didn't I get the first time? Then I ended up, okay. So I think if people are more willing to be open, but use discretion, you don't have to tell everything to get your point across. Especially when you allow the Lord to edit and add the soundtrack, and then you complete the task once he gives it back to you. We can't be reckless with our mouths. So much happens when we're reckless. And I know I've been there. I'm like, you ain't gonna tell me what to say. I'm gonna say what I wanna say. And I don't care how you take it. That. I was sharing with my daughter, which I've shared many times before. Before I started my journey walking with the Lord, in my younger years, I was super reckless with my mouth, super reckless with the things that I said. I was that one that if you mess with me, if you did anything out of line, I would cuss you out. Not just cuss you, cuss and cut you. So by the time I got done with you, you questioned your life. And that's what I was known for. And I was proud of it. I was proud of the fact that I could talk crazy to you and make you feel some kind of way about yourself. I was proud of it. So what I learned is that one thing that I took pride in, God shifted my perspective. I don't remember what the one thing was that caused that to happen, but when He shifted my perspective, He made me aware that my words, I was working for the other team. I was giving honor and glory to Satan because I was doing his work. But instead, he showed me that if you take those words and remove all the curse words from them, all the ugliness, all the meanness, the death out of that, and put life into your words, something different will manifest. And I realized that I was taking God's gifting and I was causing harm to people, when in fact that gifting was meant to encourage people, to inspire people, to motivate people. And so I started to give it a try. And I noticed that a lot of people started to seek me out. You know, you've heard people say, this woman was standing in front of me in line, and for some reason I just started sharing with her, and I don't know why I was sharing with her. That's the same thing. I'm like, that was pretty deep. I wonder why she shared that with me. Yeah, this video is all over the place. Honestly, I wasn't pleased with the presentation of my food. My food was good, but I wasn't pleased with the presentation of my food. Not pleased with the presentation, with my conversation either, because I feel like I'm all over the place, not prepared. But the thing about that is, when doing a video is, all that preparation can work for a lot of people. But, you know, a lot of folks just want somebody to raw and uncut and just not have it planned out, scripted out. Just be your authentic self. And I'm more comfortable being my authentic self. But my weakness is I'm hard on myself. And you just witnessed that. So it's good to be self-aware, you know, to realize that that's what's happening, and to have some techniques and tools in place to counteract that, you know, with truth and positivity. So the truth is, this is a good video. It's me being comfortable in my skin. It's me saying what I need to say. And the fact that I trusted God through this process of recording myself and publishing it on YouTube for the world to see is a huge accomplishment for me. I've always had an issue in the past with public speaking, and this helps. Even though it's just me recording myself, I still realize that once it's released, it's out there, you know, for the world to critique. So with that being said, I just realized that I'm putting in the work. I'm putting in the work to work on me, to improve me. Because who knows, maybe at some point, maybe God is preparing me. He's equipping me now and preparing me for an opportunity where I will be able to speak to a group of people. You just never know. There may be a task coming up that, you know, I will be called upon to do publicly. I'm not saying that this is my first time trying this. I've had other opportunities such as in church, being the reading out the announcements, and we, had our congregation, plus we were online, so whoever was watching online, got to see and hear me to sing a song during service with someone. I'm not saying that I am that God gifted me with a uh, beautiful voice. I'm saying that because what I learned during that time was that it wasn't about whether or not I could carry a note or anyone. It was about giving God glory and giving God your best. So sing. Don't try to be the original singer who performed the song. Just be you and sing. Give God your best. That's what I have ingrained in me. Give God your best in all that you do. And what's wrong with that? Don't you want the best? I spent so many years allowing people to give me what they wanted me to have. And not only did they give me what they wanted me to have, but call me 24 hours later to ask, did you try it on? Did you wear it today? How did it look? My God, it's still in the bag. I'm not ready to wear it yet. Must I give you a detailed report of whether or not I wore it? How it fit? You gave it to me. Why do I need to submit a detailed report to you 24 hours after receiving the so-called gift? And that wore me out over the years. It wore me out. And I can say that in my younger years, I was a people pleaser, and that was a part of that because I would, you know, try not to. I would try to keep my response soft, and I tell myself, well, they gave you something, you should be grateful. And so I would push myself down, my true thoughts and feelings. I would basically say, you go into this vault of it doesn't matter. That's the sign that was over the vault. How you feel, how you think, it doesn't matter. Go on in there and sit down somewhere and shut the door. For years, years, years and years. So instead of working for that not to be the case for me, I decided to refocus my energy into teaching my children not to be that person. How, you might ask? How can a damaged person teach children how not to accept anything that people give them, but to get what they want? If it's not what you want, you don't have to receive it. I don't know, but I did it by the grace of God. Because I did not want my children to live their lives as people pleasers. Granted, I can't control everything, and one became a people pleaser, and one, okay. I see daily growth in all of us. I see we hold each other accountable. We lovingly point out, lovingly sometimes not. We when I say lovingly, I mean we in a direct way, because you don't do people a service when you lie to people. Tell people the truth. Do it in love, though. You ain't got to hee-haw and beat around the bush. Just tell folks what they need to hear, but make sure it's coming from a loving place, and make sure you're in a position where where it can be received. Because if your life is all discombobulated and you walk around reckless with your mouth, how is somebody gonna receive a message from you? And it might be well intended, but how would they ever receive it if they look at you and they've already judged your jacked up life because you've shown it to them? If you're gonna offer advice, make sure that people can examine things. They can see your witness and say, okay, I can receive this one from her. But you, don't you say nothing to me. Make sure you're the one that they can say, okay, I can receive this from her. Because I know she has nothing to gain. She has no reason to harm me, to want to harm me. She's not able to gain anything from this. She don't want to see me, she or he don't want to see me hurt. That's how, we should want people to see us. That they can trust what is being said and that we're not trying to cause them any harm. It's hard for folks to trust each other nowadays, as it is. We don't have to create other stuff to keep people from trusting us, because we need each other. We absolutely need each other. Contrary to popular belief, we do. Because that's how God designed us. So, my apologies for this conversation being all over the place. So I pray that if my bridge collapsed somewhere in a conversation, that there was something in all of this that you were able to glean from what I'm saying. We need each other. I was talking about people just giving you what they want you to have. My grandchild, he got it. He took that lesson, and see, he got that. You are not going to come back on him and ask him, what did he do with it? What did he buy with it? Did it fit? Did he like it? First of all, he's not going to take it if he doesn't like it. And I think that's something else too. If he doesn't like it, he's not going to receive it. He's going to be honest. And he's going to be polite and respectful. And he's going to say, no, thank you. I prefer not to have that. I appreciate you thinking about me. And see, and here's the thing. The givers need to understand and learn how to respectfully receive that honesty and not get offended by it. Simple. Because see, here's the thing. What they could have done is they could have maybe questioned if they had a heart and mind to purchase a gift for someone. They could have spent a little more time kind of investigating what that person likes. You see, if I'm going to buy a gift for someone, I'm going to know ahead of time. So I'm going to spend some time early on asking a couple of questions here and there, or paying attention to the things that they, say they saw a thing and they want to get that thing, you know what I'm saying? Just be mindful of what people are talking about. That way, when I purchase the gift and then present the gift, they will be happy to receive that gift. Because isn't the whole point of that, and that's surprising somebody, that you get to experience that moment of happiness with them, and you know that it's something practical for them to use um, throughout the year and not just a one-off situation, that's what it's all about. Do you really want me to be happy, or are you trying to make yourself happy? You know, my children, from the time they started working, would get together and plan ahead of time uh, my gifts for those days, all the special days. I didn't have no requirements. I feel like this: the fact that I'm alive on those days, or the fact that we're together in some form, we're spending time together, that means a whole lot to me. Because I love my family, and I'm grateful to the Lord for every year of their lives. I'm honored that He chose me to be their mother and grandmother. So I love my family, and I know that my family loves me, and we enjoy spending time together. Now, yes, I know that not everybody has that experience. I know. I understand that as well. Because, see, I came from a household that didn't do that, didn't believe in it. As a matter of fact, whenever there were events, once me and my sister moved out of the house and we had our own households, whenever there was a holiday event planned at our parents' home or whatever the case may be, me and my sister would pretty much bet each other who would get there first. See, the trick was whoever got there first, no, whoever got there last. Whoever got there last was the one that could leave first. So we'd try to drag it out a little bit, but not be too late, hoping that we'd be the last one so we could park on the street and not in the driveway. Because you park in the driveway, you might get blocked by another car, and you can't leave when you want to leave without disrupting the whole situation, because now somebody got to put down their plate to go move their car so you can get out. No, we want to be able to have a smooth escape. That's what we did. We spent more time planning our escape than we did going to the event. Good times, good times, good times. We would laugh so hard. Well, that's what we did. Me and my sister. And me and my younger sister. But yeah, don't just accept what people give you. You don't have to do that. Because what happens is, and you don't even realize it, I'm going to speak from my experience. I thought that I would hurt their feelings. But I never thought about my own. How hurt I was as I walked away. My feelings were never taken into consideration. Never. And I had to learn that I had to control that piece of it. I had to care about me. If I don't care about me and other people can see that, then why, pray tell, would they show me something that I'm not willing to see for myself? It is what it is. It was one of my daughters that taught me that I had to stop expecting me out of other people. That's where my hurt came in. That's where that pain entered in, because I kept expecting me out of other people. Thank you guys for joining me. I have really had a good time with you, and I appreciate you stopping by. I really do. Even if you put it on and let it play while you're washing dishes, I appreciate you playing my videos and watching my videos. Enjoy your life, because it's your life. It doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter what people say. You were born great. Greatness is already in you. You just have to realize it and tap into it. Remember to stay humble. Don't think too high of yourself, and surely don't think too low of yourself. Pray and ask God to help teach you how to have a good balance in between that realm. Hover right there. Embrace His joy, His peace, because only He can give you an everlasting joy, and only He can give you an everlasting peace. So as long as you're not being reckless with your words, with your thoughts, with your actions, baby, live your life, because you don't know what number you hold and if you're going to be up next. It might be 5 more right before you. 5, not 5,000. It might be 5 people in front of you. Think about it. Think about it like that. Is it 5? Is it 10? 2, 1, 0. Blast off. You don't know. Don't be reckless. Your life or nobody else's. Take responsibility for your actions. Step back, be quiet, examine it, see what part you played. Shift your perspective. Figure out how you can work that thing out. Apologize when you need to apologize. And baby, if you are the one that's offended, don't allow that offense to rule your life. Forgive that individual. Whether you are able to tell them in person, over the phone, or sometimes you can't apologize at all. You just have to give it to the Lord and forgive them, and then forgive you. Ask Him to forgive you for the role you played. And move on with your life. Because what we don't require is closure. Closure is like Bigfoot. You ain't gonna ever find it. It ain't gonna never be what you want it to be. So I had to learn to stop looking for closure. I had to learn that I was causing more harm to myself, trying to hang in there or keep in contact so I can, they can explain to me why they did a thing to me. No, just forget that. Let it go. You experienced that thing. You don't need them to rehash why they did a harmful thing to you. Forgive them and move on. That forgiveness is for you. It's not for them. I'm telling you, if you don't forgive people for their offending you or doing something wrong to you, baby, you will not get far, and you will be miserable, because there's going to be a time when you're going to require forgiveness. You're going to require God's mercy and grace. So basically, if your level of forgiveness is this, and you're going to end up having a situation where it's going to require a bigger utensil, God is going to make sure you only get this. So be careful. So think about it. Got any questions, comments, suggestions? Pop them in the comments section below. I look forward to engaging with you. I thank you again for spending time with me. I thank you for considering this channel. I'm trying to grow it. I'm trying to be more diligent and consistent with posting videos. I don't always know what to come before you with. A lot of times I don't want to come with food. And you know what? I don't have to. I can just come and have a conversation with y'all and a cup of coffee. Or maybe a light snack, a piece of fruit, or something. I'm going to be me. That's all I know. That's all I know how to do, is to be me. Can't nobody else be me but me. Right? Same for you. Remember that. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic day. I pray God's love and God's peace and kindness and provision and protection over you and your families. I'm praying that God will meet your needs. And I just want to remind you that when you pray and ask God to speak into your situation, He will. But also remember that it may not always look like or come from where you think it's going to look like and what you think is going to come, where you think it's going to come from. Did I say that right? Y'all got it, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Because I feel like I'm doing too much right now. So I got to stop myself. Because ain't nobody else here to stop me, okay? So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you. And I look forward to engaging with you in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all on the next video. Bye.